How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Some more It's Politics with Laura here. Oh my goodness. There is what I will call a mega shakeup in MAGA. Okay, now we all know that MAGA is made up of a whole different sundry of people that have different reasons for being in MAGA, aka Donald Trump, right? But it's just, there's a lot of inside fighting, and I gotta say, woo, that's all I gotta say. I'm just like, this right here is a bit much. I didn't think all this was going to happen so fast and get this vicious. But all these people have a connection with Trump. Some have a direct connection, and some may have maybe a slightly indirect connection, but still within the realm. Well, let's start off with the one that kicked all of this off. Yes, Elon Musk. Now, it all started with the H-1B visas and saying how him and Vivek Ramaswamy, Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy were talking about how America needs H-1B visas and they need to bring more immigrants in to do the work that Americans, quote, unquote, do not want to work or can't work or too lazy to work. And at first, Vivek was like, oh, black people are the problem. And then as long as he was saying that, he was fine. But Vivek, sort of said some things that were a little bit disparaging in a nice way. I don't think there's a nice way, but he said it, that when, according to Americans, and he was critiquing Americans, then Elon said, yes, we do need these H-1B visas. We need to import them because engineers is something that Americans do not produce. Really? But, okay, but people come from all over the world to go to the schools that are here that produce engineers. Okay, I never quite how they try to put that in their head and to make that a narrative that's going to fly off the ground. It just went anyway. But it started after when Elon Musk and President Trump got into their, and that's when things start falling apart. But it wasn't until he went to Germany and then he did the Bellamy salute. It's a Bellamy salute. It was done in America way before Adolf had anything to do with that salute. It was an American salute. Check it out, okay? Americans have been doing that long before. A lot of crazy stuff has happened in America before it went over there to Germany, but that's a different video. So, this kicked it off, right? So there was like some shaking and rumbling and things weren't working out right. But when this guy right here, Nick Fuentes, he's the gift that keeps on giving. Okay, this guy right here, about to wait for a second. All right. Nick Fuentes, I mean, he got upset with Trump, and that's when the falling out with MAGA happened, was when he had a direct line with President Trump. He went to Mar-a-Lago, down with Kanye West, and as long as he was saying disparaging things about black people, and him and the others also did, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, they all had their little glue that glued them together as long as they were talking negatively about black Americans. And keep in mind, Candace Owens is not a black American. She is a Caribbean, or better yet, Jamaican American. So she doesn't see herself as a part of black Americans. She sees herself as a part of being the white community. It is what it is, okay? So Mark Levin, Megyn Kelly, all of them got together, and now everything is starting to shake apart. Now, he first thing he came out and said, Donald Trump, where are those? I can't say it the way he says it, but he's like, hey, Donald Trump, where are those files? You fat, lazy pig. I'm like, oh my good. He just started going to, right? Then when he started, he went on Candace Owens, the Hodge twins, what's his name? Oh, Wilcox, whatever his name is. He says, hey, you're coons. We don't need you anymore. You were our token black people, and we used you to go after all the black people, and you did our bid. Now we don't need you. Goodbye. Okay, so, but that's not what made Candace Owens leave. It was between her and Ben Shapiro, right? Ben Shapiro. As long as Candace Owens was speaking greasy about black Americans and going after black American politicians or the Kardashians, certain white people, she couldn't go too far, but saying anything about his people was a no off limits. It didn't matter if they were wronger than two left shoes, right? It didn't matter. You don't speak about them, but he gave her the platform to speak greasy about black Americans. But however, where the breakup came and when it was big. Candace Owens, got into, she was ignoring this guy named Rabbi Shmuley, and he wouldn't leave her alone. He kept on harassing her. And then she goes, oh, okay, you want some? I'm going to give you some, Shmuley. I'm going to give you some. And then she let him have it with his own public behavior. It wasn't that she made anything up. The fact that she said it was what made Ben Shapiro go off the deep end and basically got rid of her. Now, all of this happened after Trump was in office. All of this happened, things that started to, just fall apart. So when he got rid of her, he thought, okay, well, I'm in a conservative community, and then I'm going to have everybody on my side. Benny Ben didn't read the room the way he should have, because by him doing the things that he was doing, I don't want to say having questionable business practices. I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm not well versed in that. But however, he thought that he was in the boys club. He thought he was. And then when him and Candace made that split, well, before they made the split, Candace said, okay, you got something to say? Debate me, Benny Ben. Debate me. And what Ben did, he ran to the courts and had a gag order placed on her for not being able to speak. And then he did all the talking like the little girl that he is. So anyway, he did that, and that made him look even weaker. So when Candace left, everything started falling apart for him, most definitely. Now, it got to the point to where with Megyn Kelly. Wait a minute. Megyn Kelly is also in the mix too. But he goes on Megyn Kelly's show, Ben Shapiro, and he started talking about Tucker Carlson. And Tucker Carlson, and Ben said, well, Tucker Carlson and I, we've had our differences, but however, after when Charlie Kirk passed, we started talking and said, well, we can come together on the things that we agree with. So he did that, and he thought, okay, I'm back in. all right, I can go ahead and be able to edge my way in because I'm losing business left and right. And the podcast that he was on is just losing crazy because the main attraction was Candace Owens. And they came to see her, not him or anybody else. But, by her being there, he was able to get people by proxy. Well, he pulls receipts. He's like, well, we were texting back and forth, and Tucker Carlson and and he started reading the text. Like, Benny Ben, who does that? Who does that? Well, he's reading them on Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly's looking like, she looked like, oh, you look soft as all outdoors. Soft, and the blood is in the water. Oh my goodness. He said, we talked, we text. He said he was going to call me back. And I haven't received a call back yet. I don't know what's going on. He sounded like that he was jilted by a guy that gave him a phone number and called him once and never called him back. Oh, he ghosted me. How dare he? Well, he hears this, and who had something to say about it. Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes went in for the kill, right? He went in. He says, Ben, you're this, you're that. You're, whatever. You call me an ooey hater. I'm not an ooey hater. I just don't like what's going over there. And not only that, you don't put America first. You put over there Anglaza first. Anglaza has nothing to do with the United States. So therefore, you are anti-American. And he just sort of went in. Not only did he go in on Ben Shapiro, not only did he go in on Candace Owens, but he also went in on Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro, once he found out that his dad worked in one of the alphabet agencies, I don't know if it was a CIA or whatever. Well, whatever Nick Fuentes has against the alphabet agencies, he most definitely lit into Tucker Carlson, called him all types of names, called him out. And that was when Tucker Carlson allowed Nick Fuentes on his platform, because Nick Fuentes was kicked off of every platform, every single one. So Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson gave him an olive branch. He took the olive branch. He did what he had to do, got his numbers up, and then start going in on them, cutting those branches out. Who knows? So this stuff is going down. They are fighting amongst each other, pecking each other off to see who will be the one. So it is very, very interesting how all this is going down. And Megyn Kelly herself, she basically told Ben Shapiro, when Ben Shapiro said to her, hey, Megyn Kelly, all this is going on, and basically Ben Shapiro is saying, I need help. Megyn is like, wait a minute, you need help? That's none of my business. And, Benny Ben was like, none of your business? Do that. I'm a part of the conservative MAGA. I'm a part of it. He didn't come out and say it like that, but he got to really started like, well, why not? Why? And I think in his mind, he knew why, but you know how you get into things and you get into a situation, you see the big picture, but you don't believe it's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to everybody else but you. One of those situations. So, I mean, I find it wild. I was going to put Laura Loomer into it, but that's a whole other ball of wax. That, she is, woo. So, all of this occurred all of this occurred after Trump got in. Now, can Trump stop it? Does he want it? No, put it like this. Does he want to stop it? I mean, his MAGA is starting to implode on the people that are on his inner circle, right? So, Trump has other groups that he's formulating and connecting with. So whatever they do, there are a bunch of people that are in social media. He got what he needed. I mean, Elon Musk, he came out, 44 billion? Man. Huge. It's wild. So you have them clawing at each other. Now, what's interesting is this. As they're clawing at each other, guess who's paying attention? The liberals, the Democrats. And they have their own cat fights going on there. But this one is like a 3-rink circus. It's just wild. And it all surrounds Trump. Well, MAGA imploding? What do you think? What are your thoughts? Please like, subscribe, demonetized, Politics with Laura, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, anything helps because I'm demonetized. On that note, I want to thank you for stopping by.